Okay, welcome back to the E-Managerial website. I'm Professor Sam. Today I wish to share with you how can we build the risk management awareness culture effectively. So this is the special tip for the IT risk assessor or IT auditor or IT compliant, also the IT governance or IT assurance to understand the high level or best approach to build up the risk management awareness culture across the organization. So the the number one is management support. This is very important that senior management or top management need to uh, provide the core objective of the risk management awareness and need to motivate and encourage all management level from the top to the down approach that engage all management team from the low and middle or top management to strictly comply the risk management awareness culture or framework to ensure that all participation or all stakeholder or all level of staff are fully compliant with the risk management process. So the management support area, we need to get appropriate support by top management or board or director uh, has to enforce all management level to comply with the uh, risk management framework. Also adhere what is a challenge that involved with risk management activity. So the number two is approach from independent reviewer. So the organization should have the four independent department we call a CARA team, compliance department, audit department, risk and assurance department have to play this particular role with the highest code of professional ethics where appropriate in terms of enterprise risk management framework such rigorously conducting audit visit or site visit or risk assessment and also evaluate the inherent risk or top risk and control assurance for all auditable unit. So the person in charge from the CARA team need to engage the top management on the risk appetite, risk profile, uh, risk registration or reassessment or risk evaluation or control solution and particular awareness program and risk response from the risk owner. So the number three is incorporate risk awareness framework. So this is very important that can build up the risk management awareness culture effectively. Uh, the component number one is email circulation schedule. So the risk officer in charge or IT compliant or IT assurance or IT uh, uh, auditor need to establish this process to circulate all risk management program or tip to all related person to ensure that they can aware or alert to the critical area on the particular concern. So the number two is embed HR program. So the risk or compliance assurance officer need to periodically discuss on this matter with the HR team to add on this approach to their annual training program or capacity development program and follow up this particular scheme to ensure that all programs that provide by HR are fulfilled for all kind of staff or all kind of employee. So the number three is shortly briefing as a compliant approach. So the management officer has to respond on this particular action at their own business unit or division by daily briefing the compliance, control assurance, policy and procedure, also the general root cause to the subordinate staff where appropriate. So this is very important that head of department or head of division need to share the compliance or control requirement to all subordinate staff every morning before we start working. So the number four is risk e-marketing. This is involvement with a motivation scheme on a risk awareness program that the program should be mounted in a marketing program via the intranet and a marketing application and prompt action at the terminal side where college access. So the number five is together one voice act. This is just we can say that different hat, but one habit. This approach is very important to implement risk management awareness culture within the department, in which head of department need to adhere this to the team by verbal advisory, illusory image, post, and slogan of the risk quoting. So the number four. Uh, Continuous risk monitoring and measurable. So the CARA team need to continuously implementation of the risk management to respect to respective business unit or all department such as risk profile discussion, risk management debate, control solution, process constraint and remediation plan, and also risk response to all aspects. And the risk and assurance officer had to conduct the independent monthly review on a top risk register or top risk profile or key risk indicator, and also highly likelihood is to address the residual risk and impact. So this is the mechanism that senior management need to ensure that all risks are manageable and addressable. So the last one is a compliance reinforcement. This phase very significantly function to set the process risk management measurement on their key performance indicator. Matrix appraisal program is to provide their beneficiary and advantage in case of the full appliance and risk adherence. So for the appendix A, the IT assurance and IT compliance or IT risk officer need to circulate all all the risk management tip and program via the email. This is just for example. They are all and subject just a root account access management prevention tip. This is just for example. So the message can be interactive to the audience that how can Kara personnel identify your lapses on the root accounts access management. Her and his verification step might be included. So the auditor or risk assessor or assurance or compliance, they may review the step. One is a verification process, other one is a custody. So the verification process maybe include verified existing local and domain administrator or root ID, profile, privilege, and access time in the system log. Um, Whether it's properly governed and well maintained, and also verify the root account management procedure in the standard operating procedure SOP, whether it's have proper maintained and applied. Also verify the secure seal envelope, whether it has duly signed off by the designated custodian and supervisor. Verify whether the AAA apply and request form again with the system log, and verify the AAA documentation whether is a safekeeping is well kept and maintained. Verify the root account password creation form again with the system log. Verify the number of the root account creation time, access, and change record, and whether this has properly authorized and approved by the section head. So the custody, the independent reviewer will verify the delegate authority on a particular assignment or access management matrix, whether it has properly segregated and governed. Verify the irregular log to whom that has access to the core server or application, whether it's the procedure in place and effectiveness. Verify the release custodian on a AAA access when the principal on leave. This phase need to compare the event of sleep record. So the auditor or risk assessor may take the annual record from the HR to verify whether the access from the release custodian are fulfilled and comply with the rule requirement. The last one, verify the custodianship that was redesigned or designed or terminated that involved with the root account access. This is just for example that involved with the root account access management that we provide the uh, uh, prevention tip or, or, or detective or preventive related to the asset control. This is just a policy requirement that we need to present to the audience. What is the requirement that present in the policy and procedure? And the last statement, we just uh, show us the support activity that we are delighted to circulate the extra prevention tip as a fortnightly basis is to forestall any lapses at your IT shop. So this is just for example or template that the IT risk assessor or IT compliant or IT assurance need to circulate this kind of approach to all business users to ensure they are aware of the requirement. So the risk management awareness culture may take some time, at least or 3 years or to 5 years, to build up the strengthen the risk management awareness culture. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and share. Okay, welcome back to the E-Managerial website. Today I wish to share with you how can auditor utilize the effective control to the management or to the auditee by providing the audit recommendation or mitigation, or we can say the control solution when they conduct the audit fieldwork. So the audit outcome may provide a solution to the management on the following technical control. So this is ultimate IT control. So before we discuss the ultimate control, I need to brief what is a principle of the key control that illustrate on the picture. So we have the three components that the control environment need to measure and determine. One is a core objective, meaning that where do we want to go, what we want to do, and the next is performance. How well do we achieve the objective, meaning that how can we certify the outcome or the result. And the next is a risk what can go wrong. So when we put the control, we make sure that the control are sufficient and workable to mitigate the risk, to speed up the performance, and to achieve the all objective that we set by the management or by the organization. So the auditor may may provide the advisory in terms of control assurance to the committee and management by the resolution or recommendation. So one is data protection. Data protection, we refer to the CIA security framework to ensure that data could not leak to the unauthorized person or to the public. So the next is transmission encryption. This is mainly focused on the packet transmission from source to alternative or to the destination. So we need to comply with the standard encryption method. So the next is antivirus and host intrusion prevention system or host intrusion detection system. This mechanism need to be in place to ensure all threat and all system vulnerability are managed by the antivirus. Okay, so the next is a pipe management. When we talking about the pipe management, we categorize into two areas. One is a data patching and other one is a security patching. Security patching, we focus on the loophole or operating system flaw that we need to release the security patch code to strip what is a potential gap in the system, what is a loophole that the hacker can compromise on a certain service or protocol. So the next is a complex password. Complex password is a best practice that that the organization need to establish with the password management policy to reinforce all users to comply the complexity of the password, like a password length, expiry, like how to change the password, like uh, to custody the password, whatever involved with the password rule. So the next is a vulnerability management. Vulnerability management, we consider on the network or system vulnerability scan or assessment whether the vulnerability are promptly addressed and up to that. So we need to put the mitigation control when the assessment outcome. So the next is security configuration. Security configuration, we focus on the security hardening to apply all critical system or all critical network, all core network system or all database system to ensure all environment are secure. Are secure. So the next is authentication control. This is very important. When we're talking about authentication, we refer to identification and authorization to ensure all business unit to access with the control mechanism to measure what is unauthorized access come from. And the next is IPS, intrusion detection system or intrusion protection system monitoring. So IT security team need to monitor this area as a regularly basis. Can be weekly basis or can be fortnightly basis upon the network infrastructure environment. So the next is user provisioning. This area we need to provide what is a certain function to the user, what is the access mechanism, what can user aware on the system behavior or on system architecture that provide by the management or system development team. So the next is user access review. User access review very important. This mechanism to make sure the user is up to date in the list in the system. So we need to extract whatever from the authentication system, like from the AD or like from the other proxy system, whatever the user access into some or access to the database or access to the application. So we need to review the role and function, whether the role and certain function from their function that in line with the standard requirement, like need to know basis or need to have basis or need to access basis. So the privilege management is very important. So this control need to be in place to measure what is the unauthorized access come from. So the next is generate account management. This is very important that we need to create the account, we need to monitor the account, we need to uh, uh, set up the account, we need to suspend, we need to pending what is the activity involved with account management. So the next is a security awareness. Security awareness, we can say this is a capacity building on a certain function by the IT engineer or IT development team to ensure that they are aware of what is a concern area and what is a particular function need to be fulfilled by the organization requirement. So the team need to understand what is a policy required or policy need to comply what is a system security need. And the next is segment isolation. This is an area that we need to protect the DDoS attack. We need to segment the network or segment the area that involved with the criticality on the system deployment or cut over process from one system to other system. So we need to segment the isolation when the one side is impacted, so we can fail over to other side. So we need to manage the segment from one location to other location. So the next is administrative redundancy. This is we focus on the IT operational activity to ensure the primary and alternative system we can readiness on the same page on the same picture. So when the production system is not available or disruption of the system, so the mechanism will switch or fail over to the alternative side. So the redundancy can be that way. We can refer to the infrastructure, we can refer to the recovery strategy, or we can refer to the time of the recovery. So the next is a logging and monitoring. This is a very important involved with the audit trail and audit log to identify what is a unauthorized user trying to attempt to log in into the system and intentional to compromise into the system. So we need to extract all kind of log file to check whether it's a failure of access or successfully of access. So we need to analyze and determine what is a right, what is a wrong. Okay, the next is equipment storage encryption. So this is involved with the storage system that we need to ensure all data that are placed in the storage are fully encrypted and maintained. So the next is enterprise backup. We refer to the real-time replication tool. This is we refer to the data backup. So when the production site is not available, so we can take the last successful person from the DR to recovery. So the RTO that present in the MTD in the BCM mechanism, we can recovery on time. So we no need to take the manual backup like a backup tape encryption. So this is a two scenario. One is a manual backup mechanism. One is an automated backup mechanism. So the next is redundancy and failover or other related to the cluster activity like a load balancer, failover, redundancy, something like that. So we need to ensure that all environment with a critical system, we have the primary and secondary. So the next is business continuity plan or disaster recovery plan. This plan, the organization need to strategize what is the recovery strategy can put into the crisis event when the primary system is not available. So the alternative system or infrastructure need to be take over automatically. So business can assume as a normal. So the next is a secure deletion and disposal. This is very important related to the data loss prevention. So when we need to implement this area, so the organization will come up with the policy like data retention and data disposal. When the data need to be disposed, so we need to have a proper procedure, dispose with approval authority, dispose with the record documentation to show proof to the auditor whether we have the govern the activity in a paper. So the next is a change management or change control. Whatever with the change activity, we can focus on the three major or change: normal change, emergency change, or uh, uh, expedite change, something like that, or major change. So the change control need to record properly. We need to identify what is a impact or change, what is a prioritize or change, and what criteria need to be changed, and we need to have the change advisory board to approve on the change activity to make sure the change mechanism are in place and effective. So the next is a security handling response. This area, this control to make sure that the security incident like a cyber security attack or security breach or non-compliant on a concerning area or concerning part. So the response procedure need to be in place and up to date. Make sure the IT engineer aware what is the activity described in the plan, so the engineer can recover up on the plan described. So the next is a physical and environmental control. This is involvement with the data center and then disaster recovery side, the alternative side. When we talk about this security or access, so we need to control what is the identity of the access, what is a threat, or we can say the man-made threat, what is external event, or we can say the external threat like a fire, like a flood, like a humidity, like a smoke, like a chemical from the external factor. So this control need to be in place. So the next is network infrastructure redundancy. We focus on the configuration, or we focus on the failover process, or active or active standby to ensure the critical system or core network system can meet with the CIA security framework, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So we need to ensure that the network infrastructure meet with the full HA. We guarantee the zero downtime. So the next is power supply management. We involve with the outage management to ensure that the power can support the data center, or can support the network equipment, or can support the electronic device during the business operation. So the next is data center control. Data center control, normally we focus on three critical areas. One is a facility-based system like a smoke detector, fire suppression system, humidity detection, or water leakage detection, or asset management, and something related to the alarm trigger. So the next is hardware maintenance, or hardware or software maintenance, or relate to the capacity planning of the hardware and software. So the next is vendor management. So the vendor management involved with the data center, we focus on a certain or particular system that need to support my vendor as a quarterly basis, or yearly basis up on the prioritize or the equipment. So the next is a self-test environment or compliant culture. This control we need to ensure whatever we involve with the quality assurance to the IT internal control. So the self-test need to be conducted by the IT compliant, IT assurance, and also IT security on the certain role or certain function that assigned by committee or management. So the compliance culture need to reinforce all related business stakeholder, or business unit to understand what is a compliant, what is a criteria that defined by a local regulator, or internal policy and procedure. So we need to comply all. And the last one is a periodic policy and procedure endorsement. So we need to ensure the policy framework are in place. So we need to identify what is committee to endorse the policy, to approve on a policy change, what is a framework need to be reviewed and endorsement by the senior management or committee, such as board of director or risk committee or audit committee, something like that, or involved with the IT steering committee like that. So this very practical on the technical control when you are the professional auditor. So you need to provide this effective control to the management or auditee, what you can explain what is a control, what is a titan of control, what is a control nature, what is a mechanism can protect the information asset. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and share.